What's up, Denny O Fool Someway? What's up, Tom? My mic is green, so make sure we're good. Clint said, sounds great. What's up, Perez? Elliot? Bowery's crap in a box got lost in the mail. Really, I hope it was Porch Pirates. I was actually just getting ready to say before I read the rest of it, I hope a Porch Pirate stole it and opened it. That'd be hilarious. Yeah, there's all those joke videos of people actually setting out stuff. There was somebody who said they had a good idea. Like if you've ever got a broken TV and you want to get rid of it and you buy a new one, just put your old one in the box and then sit that TV box out there on the porch. Somebody would come by and steal it. Looking forward to the Hulk Hogan shop video. Yeah, that was on, let's see, I guess it was on, I kept getting them mixed up. There's a Universal Drive and an International Drive. I think it's on International Drive. We walked everywhere. So like we took a Uber, we flew into Orlando on Tuesday, which my flight was supposed to be later in the afternoon on Tuesday. And then they canceled that flight and was going to put me on a super late flight. But then they let me change it to a really early flight. So by the time we got there Tuesday, we got to spend the whole day Tuesday at the Builder Show. So then I got to see everything I wanted to see. Again, you could spend, there's 3 days that it goes on, and you could spend more than 3 days if you stopped at every booth, looked at everything, talked to the vendors. But you know, a lot of that stuff, if it's a material, I can look it all up online and like see things. I go looking around basically just for the stuff where I can see stuff and actually like physically touch it and see what's the difference between something. So if you go through it like that and you don't spend time talking to all the people at the counters and stuff, I mean, you can really knock out a lot. I mean, we walked a ton, and I actually went to that show probably back in like 2017 or 16 or something like that. It was the first time I'd ever been to one. And I think the time I went before, there's two different wings to it. There's a north and a south, and then a big west thing. I'm almost positive I only went to one of them last year because I didn't even know there was the second one, or not last year, but the last time I went. So this time I did realize there was at least two wings. So we went through both of them though, and again, half of it is KBS, which is all, you know, showers, sinks, faucets, cabinets, and stuff like that. Basically, kitchen and bath stuff. And I didn't even mess with going to those sides because that's pretty much 100% products. No kind of like tools or anything at all for the most part. So you can, like I said, if you're selective, you can get through it fairly fast. And me being somebody who I was mostly going to look for tools and then just stuff that would be like something weird that you're not going to see anywhere else. I was able to get through those in just one day. So we flew in Tuesday, stayed the night Tuesday night, got up Wednesday, and flew back on Wednesday. I was originally going to stay on Wednesday, but we were able to change our flight to get back to because some of us YouTubers still got to work for a living like losers. So it was going to help. It was going to help me and Miss Maintenance get back to work. Color guard box is not a desirable package. Tom just had a bad storm. Power RAM, that explains why when I came into Orlando on Monday, there was a bunch of construction supply guys. Yeah, it was crazy getting to, like, we got off the plane Tuesday about the time the show like opened and took an Uber to get to the convention center. And I mean, it was like traffic was crazy because everybody was going there. It was the first day. And luckily our Uber guy kind of went around and went some other way. It still took about 15 minutes longer than what the drive said it was going to be, but he didn't sit there and wait in the line to get in there. And he dropped us. I told him, I said, if you can just get us somewhere close and drop us off. We're going to be walking all day anyways. If it saves you from getting into that mess of the line of people trying to park and do all that kind of stuff, you can just drop us off. So Amanda went to get more ideas for the house. Yeah, I kept her away from the wallpaper sections. I don't even know if there was any. What's up, Sizzle? Do the Leica pencils use the same lead as the others? I believe so. Let me see if it actually says it on this package. I didn't read it, but yeah, 2.8. So it's the same. And these are, I did say in the video, they're not available. They're just not available in the US. I think they're available overseas because I think it was Lexi said she saw them on Amazon at one point, but they were super expensive. And that's probably because like you can still get stuff on Amazon US that are actually getting shipped from Germany, UK, Japan, but usually it's a lot more expensive because they add all that stuff into it, the same as if you're going over and buying it on Amazon Japan or whatever. So that might have been what she saw. But they were telling me they're not available in the US right now, but they're trying to get it available in the US this year, is what the 3 guys that were there told me. I like them. I had never seen them before, but like I said, apparently they've been out there. The holsters are pretty nice too. Like this clips pretty much about the same as the Pika. So like if you put it in something really slick, it's got a little bit of a grip to it to where you might pull out the whole thing, but my Pika does the same thing. All of them pretty much do. If it depends on what kind of shirt and stuff you're wearing, if you wear it in your shirt. But the nice thing about this one at least is if you pull it all the way out and you're like, I'm tired of doing that, I mean, you can still use it inside of that if you really want to. I think they had an orange one. I might have saw a red one too, but again, the more colors is pretty nice. Did Amanda order more wallpaper? Need to set up a Nika AHR meetup. Yeah, the AHR is something I'd like to go to. Like it seems like there's way more like tools and stuff at that one. I knew that this one. I told Amanda whenever we were going, I said this one's not going to have like a lot of the stuff like Klein and Veto and all that kind of stuff. They don't go to this one, or I didn't remember them being there last time. Now it seems like the last time I was there, again, it's been 10 years ago. Seems like DeWalt and them were there, which there were like Lowe's had a DeWalt station with a challenge to take like an impact and who can get the most screws in the amount of time, but it wasn't like a DeWalt booth. Like DeWalt, Milwaukee tools were being used around the place. Like the guy in the cutting crown had a Milwaukee saw, but they don't have a specific booth like set up to like show off their new tools or anything like that. This one, again, it's more of a product show than so like if you're just a tool nut, it's not the best one to go to for sure. It's still very interesting. You see a lot of stuff, but it's not really for just a tool nut. You know what day it finishes? I got a flight out of Orlando tomorrow. I think today was the last day. I think it was Tuesday, Wednesday, and today. Is the ES Cobra worth it in the 10-inch since it would most likely be used on small fasteners? Wouldn't the 7.25 be best? I use the 7.25 the most for me, but I don't deal with large diameter pipes and stuff that much. I'm mostly dealing with like things under a sink, stuff within a half-inch, three-quarter-inch conduit and stuff like that at the most. So I very rarely need a 10-inch one. The only time the 10-inch for the most part for me is if I mess with a shower valve or just get into something very rare. Again, some people 10-inch is their go-to. That's what they use the most, but it's not for me. Pie guy, love to watch me work video on the cabinet bottom replacement. Great idea, sticking on flooring to the finished bottom. Yeah, so that flooring that I showed you there, because some people asked, and I don't remember showing it in my truck loadout video, like, what did you do for your drawer slides? I didn't put drawer slides on mine because I wanted the drawers to come out both ends of my truck. So that way, if somebody was parked close to me, I could go over to the passenger side and pull out that whole drawer. So that same flooring is what I took and put it on the bottom of my drawer and then also in the like floor of that cabinet that my drawer slides on. So it's kind of two of those together. I did do the like peel and stick and glue it, but I also shot some like crown staples, some small ones through it just to help hold it too, since it's going to get a lot of wear and tear. But that it has helped a lot for the like friction. It helps a lot for the sliding. So I always told people that's what I did, but I never showed anybody what it was. So if you were curious and wasn't understanding, that's the same flooring I used in that. That's why I had it here. The same flooring that I used in that cabinet is the same flooring that's in my truck loadout drawers on the bottoms. Joey made the cabinet structural to the house. Yeah, it was funny to me, the comments that I kept getting about too many screws, and in my mind, I didn't even put that many screws in it. Now, I could have got away and probably like I probably didn't really need the two middle boards in there. I mean, that little span, but it's like again, I've got them sitting out there. I cut pieces of 2x8 to where I was going to have pieces like that left over. So why throw them away? I'm going to go ahead and throw them in there as extra bracing, and that little middle section is going to get blasted with that ductwork being hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold. So that wood's going to want to shift more and all that kind of stuff. It's like, again, while you're in there, why not put 2 or 3 more screws? And the pocket screws on the front, I could have only put 4 or 5 in it if I wanted to, but the whole face frame was connected to it. And after I unhooked the original board, that thing was going like this all the way down through there. So I just put a bunch in it just to make sure it stays straight over time. Again, if you're going to do something, why not do it so you never have to touch it again? And it's like, oh, that's going to be a pain for the next person that tears it out. The next person that tears it out is going to take a hammer to it and grab it and rip it out and everything else. It's not going to be that hard. I love the place of the sharpener. Yeah, I like it better up at the top. I don't, like I said, it's not like a deal breaker for me on the Pika that it's on the bottom. It doesn't make sense to me that you'd put it. I guess some people might leave the holster on the outside of their pocket or something or whatever it is, and it's always accessible. But for me, it's always on the inside of my pocket, so I prefer it being out. Do they come in purple? The pencils, I was kind of back and forth. I guess you would call this lavender because at first I thought it was pink, but then the more I started looking at them, like, I guess that's probably like more of a purple than a pink, but maybe it's kind of like a very, very light purple. I know I saw an orange in the background, and then whenever I was editing the video and watching it back, I think I saw a red sitting there on the table. But I mean, for all I know, they didn't bring every color. I don't know what all they had with them. Uh, Super nice guys though. I was just asking them about it, and then told them I walked over to them and said I use these kind of pencils all the time, so I was just coming over here to look at yours and see what you have. And they started talking to me, asking me about which ones I like the most, and and they were surprised that I said Hultafors. So I was like, "Oh, really?" Because I guess theirs is more shaped like a Pika. But I was just getting ready to walk off, and they was like, "Well, here, go ahead and take some of them." So they gave me a couple of them, as long as it's not Barney purple. I keep feeling like I'm missing tools. Haven't bought anything in a while. Recommendations on pick sets for automotive purposes. Uh, what pick sets did I get? I got some from that Napa thing because I had a buddy that kept getting stuff from Napa for free, but he can't sell it. He has to give it away. That's how I got that cart and this bucket thing and, several different things. And I think I got 2 pick sets through that as the ones I've got. A friend of mine built a device to power scaffolding like the one you showed. Yeah, I think that's 18. I looked it up. It's like $1,850, which is a lot of money, but it's pretty cool that it's powered off of like your power tool batteries. And they said you can get an adapter to go to any of them. And I think he told me it goes 4,000 linear feet on a single charge, like of you moving it. But I mean, if you pay like for a lot of jobs, like me and my buddy do a lot of drop ceilings, and usually he gets up on the scaffolding and I'm down in the bottom cutting stuff and handing it up to him and pushing him around and moving if he can't reach and pull himself. Uh, but if you were somebody who worked by yourself and you could just load all your materials up there and then move yourself around, I mean, it wouldn't take you very long of paying a helper to make $1,850 back. if you were somebody who it's hard for you to find helpers all the time? Your post on how you would how to organize that CRV's gone crazy. I thought that after I kept seeing all the answers, I thought I bet Will's gonna wish I didn't post that. But he emailed me and asked me my opinion, and I kind of told him what I thought, and I said, and he said, but you can share this with everybody if you want to. And I thought, well, I'll download them all and just make a post and let you get a bunch of comments. So that vent under the sink is a HVAC. And here I thought you just sprayed them down with super slick stuff. PBC, they're saying PB Swiss picks are good. What Veto bag you eyeing this season? I don't know if the promo bag is like, I've seen some pictures that it's going to be tier one is the CBLD. I don't know if these are real pictures or not yet. Like I haven't got anything from Veto, like an email from Veto, not from somebody at Veto. And then the tier two was going to be, I think, an MB2B. I might buy a bag if and get the CBLD only because, like, in my opinion, that's a good time to get a bag because you can sell one of them and actually get a very good deal on the bag. That whether you keep the CBLD or you keep your regular bag, either way, to get a free bag that you can sell and take that price. Even if you sell it for cheap, you're taking it off the price of your other bag. So if that's the case, I might get a tier one bag. If it's something that I don't really want, I'm just going to buy an MP pouch that's the Evo and a meter pouch that's the Evo. I'm definitely want a meter pouch and a MP pouch that's got the magnet. But it will depend on what bags are in the tier one too, because I don't really want an Evo bag, and most of the ones that would be in the tier one, like I've already got a Tech Pack MC, I've already got the MCTP infrared, like not really them upper bags I need. Now, if the SBLT or, something like that, if any of those kind of bags are kind of in that tier one, then maybe, and I get the CBLD for free, then maybe I'll do a bag. But if not, then I'm just going to go with the pouch and a meter. Those Lyra guys were nice and smart. Now we all want Lyra pencils. They were super nice guys. There was 3 of them there, and they were all nice. Everybody. Now the trade show was the only nice people in Orlando that I dealt with, though. So hotel I stayed at, the people at the register were just, to everybody that came up there, super rude. Like, I mean, rude to everybody. I mean, I didn't get into it with them or anything, but just, and then there could be a line of 17 people waiting to check in, and one of them's working and the other ones aren't doing anything type of thing. And then they're rude the whole time they're talking to everybody. Of course, everybody's already mad because they've been waiting in line for however long. And then, like, every store I went in, the people were rude. It's like you'd think in a place like Orlando where it's like tourism and all that stuff. But of course, I guess they deal with tourists all day and then they deal with a lot of people all the time. So they're probably sick of it. But at the same time, it's like that's how y'all stay in business and make your money. But the worst was I've never flown Spirit Airlines before. And like, so we flew Spirit Airlines out of Nashville. I mean, it was no different than me getting on any other airline I've ever got on. Like, they were nice and friendly the whole time that I was there and getting on the plane. They didn't even look at you sideways or anything like that. Well, then coming back, I mean, we were calling them the suitcase Nazis because me and Amanda got to the airport early because we got up that morning. There wasn't enough time for us to do anything, so he's like, "We'll just go ahead and go to the airport and look around the airport because we were gonna have to take an Uber. It's not like we had a car or something where we could just go to different places. I didn't want to pay a bunch of money going to Ubers just to go to weird places." And I mean, and the thing of it was like they wouldn't even talk to you until about 10 minutes to board the plane because we sit there and watch like 5 or 6 flights go this way. So basically, everybody would sit around, planes board, and then they get up and start looking to see because you're only allowed like one free personal item. Well, of course, a lot of people had backpacks, but they were puffed out pretty big and all that kind of stuff. And they have to fit in this thing. And I mean, they were just hammering people on that. And then if people were carrying even like a little purse and a backpack, it's like, no, that's two things. You got to pay $99 to, for one of these bags. And so basically they wait around to like the last 5 minutes. So you have 5 minutes to make the decision and to move stuff around in your bags. It's like, do I want to like let the plane leave without me or pay the $99 to add this extra bag? And then also they wouldn't let you pick your seats. Like my seats on my ticket said see attendant. So I went up there whenever we got there. I'm like, this tells me I need to see you as far as getting my seats. And they're like, oh, well, we won't do that until like it's time to board the plane. So then again, 5 minutes before or whatever, they're up there and they won't let you pick. And they're going, oh, well, you won't be able to sit with your wife or whatever unless you pay extra money and get these types of seats. It's just a pretty janky way. And they were just rude the whole entire, like Nashville Spirit Airlines versus Orlando Spirit Airlines. It was like it's two different things. But me and Amanda kept, of course, we were just sitting there doing people watching at the airport and we were making jokes. Like there was this, after we saw it happen like about 35, 40 times, like people start walking in with their backpacks on. We're just like, you're never going to make it, never going to make it. And then there was a lady that walked in with a baby, like in a strap thing around like the front, and she had a backpack. And I'm like, they're either going to make her pay for that backpack or she's going to have to pay $99 if she wants to take that baby with her, because that's going to count as two items right there. You're not going to be able to, that's not going to count. You didn't get honked at or ran over by Maseratis. It's Florida. There was a lot of honking going on. I meant to ask, under the sink, is the vent connected to HVAC? Yeah, it's a HVAC, like a heat and cool vent. Instead of them bringing it up in the floor out in the middle of the room, a lot of time I see that pretty often, but I always preferred if they seal off the, like what I did basically, and then bring a little vent like in the toe kick out in the front instead of it having to come around that cabinet and it just being open. But and the reason why is because now that cabinet's kind of weak, it's not really even connected anywhere except for to the face frame and to the back of the cabinet. Like there's a big gap all the way around that whole front. And that's fine if you use something like a decent wood that's thicker and all that. But if you use some real thin wood and it's only connected by staples to the face frame, and it had 4 staples in the back of that, that's all that was connected. It was 4 staples in the back. And that was pretty much it. Should have packed everything in your vest. I was afraid. Like after I watched them for a little while, I went ahead and took my backpack and went and stuck it to make sure it would fit, because I wasn't gonna wait till the last minute and took Amanda's, because that's all we traveled with was a backpack. We didn't do the check a bag or any of that, so that way we didn't have to wait around at the carousel to get bags, worry about somebody losing it, because we were only going to be there for a small amount of time. Even though I thought to myself, well, what if I get a bunch of stuff? I'm not going to be able to get it home. So I had to be pretty picky. I could have got enough hats, like hats and stuff, to last me the rest of my life, because every booth just about had a hat with their stuff on it. But again, I couldn't get it home. So I was pretty much turned into a sticker person and got a bunch of stickers. I did get a little pass load keychain with the pass load nail gun there. That was at the pass load booth. Picked that up. And then the stickers that I got, I got a true work sticker. You stick it on and peel it off. I haven't put any of those stickers yet on anything because I'm thinking about doing a door over there. So that's why I've been kind of got a stud pack sticker. Paul gave me that. There was a safety place there that had some don't get in a safety pickle, something about, if you need safety stuff like through OSHA or something, rather they had a booth there. So I just picked up a couple different ones there. Got a saw stop sticker. They had a booth there. Grabo had a booth there showing their new stuff off. Strauss, where I got that vest at. Home Depot. That way I can say I'm actually a pro if I put this sticker on something, I guess. And then there was another True Work sticker. Then I got these stickers from, let me make sure I don't flip it around, and Cody off of Instagram, Tools of the Spark. He sent me quite a few stickers. He emailed me and asked me to do a sticker trade, so I sent him some of mine. He sent me quite a few of his with some Westhart electric stickers as well. So I got bukus and bukus of stickers that I'm gonna put all over my cabinets and all over my doors at some point, but I've been kind of waiting until I get them all in to see how I want to do it. Sucks. Sorry you had such a bad experience. Now the show part of it was great. Like, I mean, it was nice, and even as jam packed as it was, everybody in there was being really friendly. It was just all the places out in the town, like, because later on we took an Uber to the convention center. Our hotel wasn't super close to the convention center, but it was close enough to walk instead of taking an Uber. So we walked from the convention center to the hotel, and then we walked and ate dinner that night and walked up, and that's where we found the Hulk Hogan wrestling store, was while we were walking around. But every place we went, like in the town side of things, this was not very good. It also seemed a lot more like we took our kids there whenever they were really little, and then we took them there. It's been quite a while. Like, it was probably like in 2012 or something like that, and it's run down quite a bit since then. I remember Tubik said, I remember you, hang on, he said, have you touched the Vera ratcheting screwdriver for ratcheting screws, or have you just been using the vessel electrical? So the only Vera one I have is the small little RA. I don't have like the bigger version of that. And I actually use that one quite a bit, like on small stuff, because it's a very small screwdriver. So like there's a lot of things I wouldn't use that for, just because you can't get enough leverage on it. But like I use it on I've used it in putting together like put together furniture and offices and towel bars and stuff. It fits back up in behind there pretty good for them little set screws and stuff. So just small stuff. I use that. Nothing very big, but yeah, in my opinion, the Vessel USB is the best ratcheting screwdriver, out there. I mentioned the Vessel Electric was the best ratchet, so I was wondering if you ever touched the Vera since. Yeah, the Vera stays in my SPMC, which is in my truck. Both of them. I have a Vessel USB and the little small Vera. My new stickers came in, Bowery Boy. Setev 66. Have you seen the new Klein Tools Sight Runner bag that they are selling at Lowe's? 99 bucks. Very Veto-like it looks. I like it a lot. Thinking of changing for my smaller bag. I haven't seen it in person. My Lowe's is very slim on the Klein mod box stuff and on the Klein bags. Like, they don't carry, they'll have some, but it's like a very, very small section, not very much at all. So I don't know if other Lowe's just have way more of it, but mine doesn't carry that much of it. I mean, I've seen plenty of videos on them, but I haven't like seen one in person yet. What's up, Wacky? Yeah, I actually took some footage. I was going to work it into my video, but I was like, no, there isn't really a good way to fit that in. Like, I've got some footage of the suitcase Nazis on my phone, like working their game. I'm like, somebody gets a bonus off of this or something. It was pretty funny. And like I said, it baffled me because, again, I had never flown Spirit before, and leaving Nashville, I would have thought this is no different than any other airline I've ever been on. Like, no big deal. Like, really nice, letting you on and all that kind of stuff. And the plane rides were fine. Like, and all the people on the planes were fine and nice and all that kind of stuff. It was just, out there in the like gate area of, and it's all Spirit in Orlando. Like they've got their own little wing. I mean, it was something else. I've flown JetBlue. I actually like JetBlue. Like it wasn't like they got little TVs and all kinds of, like, for the price of the times whenever we flew JetBlue, I was like baffled at why it was like a cheap airline. And then I've flown Southwest quite a few times, and I think I've flown American Airlines some. I don't remember what it was I flew when I went to the Philippines because I got on multiple different planes. I don't remember which one it was that I got on for those. Maybe United, I think, was what I got on going to the Philippines, possibly, because I had to fly into Houston, and then I flew to Hawaii, and then I flew to Guam, and then I flew to the Philippines. But I think those were all United flights, if I remember right. You always paid up for Southwest, worth every penny. Well, if you end up, that's what I'm saying about Spirit. It's like their price may be the cheapest, but if they end up getting you for something silly and making you pay for a bag that's $99, and then if you end up wanting to pay for seats so you can sit together, another like $40 or something, it's like you're up there at the same price as some of them other airlines where, so it's not really, it all depends on if how you play the game. I mean, if you're going by yourself and you're carrying a backpack that's pretty small and you only got like very little stuff in it, it's not like packed out to the brim, then yeah, you're going to get right on there, sit by yourself for, $100 or whatever it is. But if you're actually flying with quite a few people, you want to sit together, if it's a little bit longer flight and all that, you'll end up paying probably as much as if you uh, just fly something else. I think without the get a pouch free promo, it's going to be a hard sell on the Evo bag. Yeah, it kind of stinks to have to buy the bag and then buy two pouches on the side, because then that gets into, and again, I see the huge advantage in, like, I've got the MCT infrared sitting right over here with the two pouches on the side already. Of course, those are tied to the bag, but I can buy a bag with the two pouches and just have them on there and then get my stuff out of them and not have to pay, because I'm sure by the time you buy a pouch and a meter pouch, or if you bought 2 meter pouches and put it on the side of it, it's nice that you can take it off. It's nice that it's magnetic. I would definitely rather do that. But are you willing to pay, like, I mean, by the time you buy a bag and 2 meter pouches, I bet it's going to be quite a big chunk of change. Almost like buying the DeWalt fancy drawer stuff that Steve's Woodshop's got. Brian Hall just got done working. What's up, buddy? Curtis in here. What's up, Curtis? Saw the SBLDT email. Not sure if I like it. Yeah, so that's essentially the SBLD with a flap. I would like that my own self personally, but the open side of the SBLD didn't bother me as bad as I thought it would. I just always I like the look of a closed bag. I'm usually not outside in the weather and elements and stuff that much that really affects me that much. I just prefer the look of my bag is closed up and everything's inside of it, type of thing. What's up, Faye? I hope they stock up on the SPMC when the promo comes around. Yeah, I got the email too about the SBLDT was going to be available soon, I guess, which, I mean, shoot, it's what, February the 19th or something like that. March 1st is right around the corner. Yeah, I saw Perkins, and they were going to be at the TrueWork booth on the next day, the day that I planned on spending there. So I planned on kind of going there. But while I was walking around and I kept seeing like certain booths, I'm like, I guarantee you there's somebody at the LP booth, whether it's R&R, Perkins, somebody, Stud Pack, something like that. Awesome Framers, I knew was going to be there too at some point in time. So I went over there, and that's when the Perkins were there. And then we just so happened to walk by the Sashgo booth, and Jordan and Rad and Paul were all there, and their family, like Paul's wife, and I think it's Jordan's sister or Rad's wife, or is that the same person? I think. Or Veto promotion starts March 1st. Usually it does. Again, I haven't seen anything like from Veto. I've seen little things floating around on Facebook and stuff like that, but whether or not those are real or not, I don't know. You can get pretty fancy with AI these days, and people can make posts to make people share them and click them. And you like the Klein tumbler? Yeah, I kind of like the fact that it's not super like big around. Of course, like I said, that fits in that Velocity uh, van bag where I didn't really have anything else that would, unless it was like a bigger one of these that had a smaller bottom. They would too, but then it was so high sticking out, I was afraid it was going to come out. So it works really well for that. But I actually like the diameter, I guess, of this better than a really big one. It's kind of like a tall monster can, or one of those kinds of things. Bobby said, I've only flown international flights for over 30 years and I've never experienced anything like you did. Oh, there was some people, there was a group of, I think they were speaking French. I think they were going to Newark though, so I don't know what they were going to Newark for out of Orlando, but none of them spoke English, and none of them were grasping that, like, because there were several of them that had a backpack, and it's always usually women. They'd have a backpack and a purse, and you're only allowed one for free. So a lot of people just take, if they got a small purse, they take it and stick it in their backpack until they get on the plane, because then you've only got one bag. And so they'd go over there and talk to them and be like, you got to pay $99. And they're just like, no, the size is okay. And like trying to talk to them back and forth. And of course they couldn't talk to each other, and it was just nonstop and I bet there was like, I don't know where the group came from, but it was like a group of like probably like 35 people. And that plane ended up like leaving late because they had so many people backed up. But again, it's because they wait till the last like 5-10 minutes before the plane boards to start even looking at any of that stuff, so that they've got you in that last minute, like, oh, you got to make a split decision in the last minute. And then that was worse because they didn't have the time to translate back and forth with each other to figure it out. So it was a big cluster bomb. Do they have a bigger size Klein mug? This is the only one that I saw. I didn't see anything else on there on the I bought 2 just regular coffee mugs. I've got like y'all can probably see. Let's see. No. Back behind this. Yeah. Just regular mugs. I got 2 of those last time, but I don't think they're on there anymore. They only have all the stuff for a certain amount of time, and then they quit selling it. So like it's not something you can get all the time. Like this will be a limited thing too, I think. Now whether they bring them back or not, I don't know. But I know those mugs aren't on there anymore. And I picked up 2 of those because I really like the size of those. A lot of times you find a mug that is a logo of something you like. It's these little bitty mugs that aren't worth even having for actually drinking coffee out of. They're more for just looks. It says a lot of new Evo won't be out until May. Will we even be able to get anything during the promo? Yeah, I don't know. Every now and then they have let you do like a go ahead and pay for it thing, pre-order type of thing, but I can't remember if they let people do that last year or not. She doesn't have much girth. If I can't drive in a day, don't need to go, or they want me there, they don't want, or if they want me there that bad, charter a plane. I'm that way too. I don't like flying. Like it's not the flight part of it or anything. I just take the whole process of it. I mean, you got to get there early. You usually have to sit there for some time, and then by the time you get on the plane, and then I've had them where, like the time I went to Klein, they pushed my plane back. I think I sat at the airport for like 6 hours or something like that. And it's like half the time, if it's not like an exorbitant amount away, if I can drive there in time and a half of what it would take me to fly there, I just soon drive because then I can be it. Now you might still hit traffic or whatever, but at least then you can get off on some back road and drive for a while. But you can stop and pull over and get yourself something to drink anytime you want to, go to the bathroom, do whatever you want to. Because most of the time, especially, I will never do a flight that has a layover. Like I won't do it. It has to be a nonstop flight. But by the time you drive to the airport, pay for parking, you wait in an airport for because you got to get there early enough so that you don't end up hitting the TSA line and missing your plane. So then by the time you do that and then sit around for about at least an hour, let's just say it's an hour minimum, and then you get on the plane, and sometimes that doesn't take off on time. And then by the time you add the flight time and all that, it's like sometimes it's really not that big of an advantage. Like it has to be a decent amount away for me to fly. If it's within like 8 hours driving or something like that, I'm just going to drive. Vito's recent promo with the AHR event had a list of what bags would be 1 and 2. They seem to have moved the requirements for tier 1 up a bit. TPXXL and SBLDT were tier 2. Yeah, see, I'm not interested in the MB2B at all. So, and I don't need a bag. Like I've got bags out the wazoo. So I'm not buying a bag just to get an MB2 for free. Because the value of an MB2B to sell it's not very much to take off of another bag either. And I'll just spend my money on a pouch. I've flown 5 different trips, but won't fly anymore. They're rushed all the time. You're flying and then tired the whole time that you're there. I drive now. Yeah, especially like once I get like if me and Miss Maintenance retire and we're not really working like to where you're taking vacation days and all that because then you don't want to, waste stuff, which I don't have vacation days anyways. I just don't work or whatever and don't get paid. But like if I'm not on a time crunch, like hey, I've only got this amount of time to go to here and get back, then I would just soon drive everywhere. I don't care if I go to Alaska, I'd just soon drive because again, I just would stop and see other things on my way there and do whatever. I just hate the whole process of the airport, getting on the planes, and everything about it. It's like I said, it's not the flying part. I could care less about the flying part. Amanda would have got y'all there quick. This does keep stuff pretty hot, like for the most part. Like that's still just as hot. I've been sitting out here for I put it in there probably 15 minutes before I came out. So it's been in there about an hour and it's still just as hot as whenever I put it in there with the little top open the whole time. Enjoyed to watch you work on the vanity. It was great. Never thought of the flooring for the bottom of a vanity. Yeah, I used to. The last place I worked, we had a lot of VCT tile, like the glue down square tiles, and then you buff and wax and do all that like a school floor. We had quite a bit of that whenever I first started working there, and I was always having to clean them and then buff them and wax them and all that. And I'm just like, we got to do something different than this. I'm not doing this all the time because you always have to move all the furniture out and do all that. So that's when I started getting them to install different types of floor. But we used to have a lot of those like tiles down there in the room and storage room. So sometimes used to, I would just go ahead and take some glue and put it on the plywood and stick those. And then I'd go ahead and put wax on top of it to kind of seal it all. So it'd almost be like having a VCT floor inside your sink. And that works really well. It's just a little bit more time process of stuff drying and stuff like that. So that's something I would do if I worked at a place, but going to someone's house, like I want to finish that job and then leave. I'm not going to come back and wax your, vanity bottom and put 2 coats of wax on it. But like if I worked at a place and I can go put a coat of wax on that and then go do 4 or 5 other work orders and come back and put another coat of wax on, then yeah, that's a good idea to do that. But that's not something. So that's what I used to do. And then sometimes I will do glue down flooring if I know I'm gonna, like if I'm doing another job at a person's house and I got time to put down the glue down flooring glue, let it get, dried out and tacky. And then I've always usually got some of that flooring here at my house too. Like I've got 400 or 500 square feet of some different floors of leftover pieces back there in my other barn of where I've installed that floor. And there's like a half a box left or 2 or 3 boxes left. So I use that sometimes too, but you have to have enough time for that glue to set up. And sometimes that takes 30 minutes to an hour. Just depends on, what all fans you can put on it and that kind of stuff. That actually sticks better if you do it that way than the peel and stick does, but it's a little bit longer process as far as if you're going to do a job somewhere. If you're doing it at your house, again, you can put the glue on there, go eat dinner, come back and put it on later. Yeah, this is the Jeff Bowery Texas pecan coffee. Pecan. Did you see Vito's putting the cover on the SBLD? Yeah, SBLDT. I think Adrian's got a video. Was his the SDLP or the his was the SPLD, which is the pouches. Yeah. I got an email about the SBLDT, which is that one. I tried to order one on the Klein website and it keeps freezing up. So I tried to order it first on the weekend, and every time I got to see that first time I ordered through there, I got the cast iron skillet and all that. And the way I read it, it was like you had to spend $100 or they wouldn't even ship anything to you. And it was kind of saying that with this, but I just went ahead and tried it to see if it would let me. And it still made me pay like $15 shipping, but it let me order just this. I think my order total was like $38 or something like that. But I tried to order it on the weekend and I kept putting in my stuff and it would say you have to pick a shipping something. I can't remember what it said. Shipping has to be confirmed in red every time you were hitting submit, but it wouldn't ever let me put in anything. So I emailed them and asked them, I said, I keep getting this message. It's not letting me buy this. I don't know what I need to do. And then they said, well, make sure you filled in everything. They emailed me on Monday because they weren't there over the weekend. Well, then I got back on there Monday and it went through without me doing it. So I think maybe they might have it set up on the weekend not to take orders because like maybe they only have so many of these and they don't have their, system set up to cut off at a certain number or something like that to not let people order. Maybe that's what they're doing. He didn't say that in the email when they replied back to me. But you might try, if you were trying to do it on a weekend, you might just try to do it during a weekday. Because Monday I got on there and ordered it and it was no problem at all. Wax your vanity bottom. Yeah, and then some of the things at the IBS, like the pass load, like it was running over the whole time. Like every time I walked by it, like thousands of people are just sitting there shooting nails and stuff in. And I'm not a pushy person. Like I'm not going to get up in there and be like, hey, can you, like, I went and filmed and looked at the things that were easy for me to get to and stuff that I thought was maybe a little bit interesting compared to like most of the things that were there. None of you would have cared anything about. And again, I can look up stuff and read about products and not have to see them and understand why one would be better than the other type of thing. But there's just not a lot of all the big things were always just super crowded. Like the Lowe's booth, they had a game going on where you threw balls at a big screen to hit mini buckets, and if you hit so many, you won certain prizes. Like they were giving away those chain necklace things that I've got one of, and all that kind of stuff. And it's like I'm not even getting in the mix of that. I hate being in the big group of people like that. I'm not a pushy content creator, I guess I should say. I'm not gonna force my way into something just to get some kind of footage. I'm not the person working out at the gym and getting mad because somebody's stepping in front of my camera. But everybody was actually pretty nice. If you ever did have your camera out, I mean, people would stop and I'd be like, you don't have to stop, because I'd already decided. At first, I was like, well, I'll record, like I'll sit there and talk to people and record and have Amanda record that. That was a big thing about her being able to go with me. That was going to be nice. But then I was like, it's just going to be so much easier if I just let them do their thing and me record it, and I'll talk whenever I get back to the garage instead of trying to put on some kind of conversation and all that kind of stuff, because there's so much going on around what you're filming that it's very like noises and everything else. So I thought that was going to be a lot easier, and that did make it a lot easier for me. I don't know whether or not it matters for a video, but it was a lot easier, I think. The new loadout Adrian put out made me realize it was a big bag. So nobody's mentioning that irritable bowel syndrome is also IBS. Yeah, I guess it's International Builder Show, maybe, is what that probably stands for. I don't honestly know that, but uh, I would assume that's probably what it stands for, because they got stuff from all over. What's up, Rod W. from Branson, Missouri? No vest preview. Yeah, I can get it out over here. I don't. If I get it out though, there's not a lot left for me to say in a review video if I tell you all the little snazzy secrets of it. So it is about the same amount of mesh and stuff as my 1824. So if you want more of a mesh vest for the coolness of it, like not be hot, it would be a good one for that. So this one is a extra large. My Atlas ones are larges, so take that in consideration. The zipper seems pretty good. Zipper pocket up here. This one's a Velcro pocket, and then you got several different pockets here. And then this one also does have, like my Atlas one doesn't have belt loops, so this one's got belt loops, so you could put, a belt in this and actually hang pouches off of it too. That's something you can't do. Like my Atlas one has two little things over here that you can put side pouches, but you can't put pouches like anywhere you want to. And this one's got belt loops all the way around the whole thing. And then you got another zipper pocket there. This one doesn't have pockets here, and I kind of like that on my other vest, because whenever I'm just sitting around. But pretty good. And I like the length of this one okay. It's definitely longer than my Atlas Stratus vest, but I don't think it's as long as my Atlas 46 vest. Let me see. I got one of those in here too. But they quit making these, I guess, because I don't see these on their website anymore. So snoozed, you lose on this. I'm really glad I bought the second one now. These have more bigger. These are more, you can do fasteners and things too, whereas that one's more just a tools probably. I'd say this is about the same length as that one though. See, this one's got two pockets there, so sometimes I'm just sitting around like that. So I kind of like that. But this one doesn't have as many tool slots, but it's got open big things here, and you can put something down in it and make it toolish. If I get it not hung. But you can't get these anymore, I don't think, as far as I can tell. And this one I got on a crazy good deal, so that's the only reason why I bought a second one. Like, I got this one for about the same price as what that one cost, but the first one I bought was $250. And this one doesn't have, it's got mesh, but this one particularly has more of this. My one I keep in my truck's got about the same amount of mesh as that. This one's a 1819, that one's a 1824. But for the price, that's the Strauss one's pretty good for the price, in my opinion. Again, I haven't loaded it up and used it or anything. Literally just got home with it yesterday. But for the price, I saw it on Amazon a long time ago, and then me and Amanda were walking by the booth, and I said, I'm going to see if they got one of those vests here. I said, because I've been looking at it on Amazon, thought about ordering one just because a lot of people asked me about a cheaper vest option. And they so happen to have one on a mannequin and everything else, so I was able to see it. And then that's when I started talking to Leanne, and she's just asking me what I did. And everybody that asked me what I did, I'm like, I'm a commercial remodeler. I said, and then I also do commercial and residential, like service maintenance type work. I said a little bit of everything. And I said, and then I do tool reviews on YouTube as far as a YouTube channel. And then she just started showing me around to different stuff. And I was like, well, do you mind if I record you? And she's like, oh, no, that'd be fine. So ended up getting a vest. I do like their knee pads were really nice. I didn't get any, I thought I got footage. The footage where I looked at those pouches, the knee pads were right below it. And I could have swore I went down and got some footage of that. And I couldn't find it though if I did. And I don't know where it was. But their knee pads were pretty nice looking and to go in the pants. So I think that'd be a pretty nice setup too. Did you check on mom while you were down in Florida? No, if I would have been able to stay down there longer, I would have liked to have went. And if I'd have got a rental car, I would have liked to have went. But I didn't rent a car in my package thing because I was like, we're just going to go to the hotel or to the convention center. Basically, I needed 2 Ubers to go to the airport there and back. So I was like, I think that's going to be cheaper than renting a car. Well, then by the time we got there, I was like, I don't know, we can see about renting a car because it wasn't that much to rent one through like Expedia or whatever. But then whenever we got there, all the lines were crazy, and I wasn't going to be able to pick up a car if I rented it through Expedia for like 4 or 5 hours. So then I went over to like the Hertz desk, and it was going to be like crazy, like $400 or $500 or something like that, just to rent a car to drive to the airport and back. But me getting there early and going through, if I'd had a rental car, I probably would have seen if I could have drove down there instead of coming back early. Who makes this vest? I missed that on the video. It's Strauss. Let's see. It's on Amazon. I guess they probably got a website too. And it's actually $89 on Amazon. It used to be $99, but it's $89 right now. I put it in my Amazon store. I've got a little tag that's like, I got a bunch of stuff separated in there. I put it under like, I've got like thing like work clothes or clothes I wear or something like that. I think I put it inside of that. Looks a bit like a law enforcement vest. I think the black makes it look that way. I think they've got maybe a gray one and a brown one, or maybe a gray brown one. I can't remember. I know they got another color, but all they had at the place was black. That's the only reason why I got black, was that's all they had there. But I think they've got another color on Amazon. Reminds me of back ladder or Snickers. Yeah, I didn't see one at the back. I went to look at the back ladder booth to see if I could. I didn't find one there. I thought they might have had one too. Do you have it in bright neon? No, I think it's black and gray, and then Atlas. Now Atlas has some vests that's got high vis, but they're way more expensive. And of course, you can go Diamondback. Now, Diamondback was at the show. I did get to like um, check out the new mini Sax X or whatever it is, and I do like those a lot better than the original ones. I'm actually using my original one right now, working on my garage. I've got my sheathing screws in it, so this is the original version. It's got kind of this belt clip kind of off to the side in a way, and the new one's a whole different deal, and the bag even feels different. The new ones are a lot better in my opinion than these. That booth was a little bit crazy too, so that's why I didn't film anything there, but I did at least get to put my hands on some. They had a booth there. I need one that's leather. Strauss is German. Yeah, they're a German company. I think she said in that video that they've been selling here for the last couple of years, but they've been around since like 1940 or something like that. They do have, yeah, they make tech pants. The ones I looked at in comparison to the ones I looked at, which me and Matt were talking about it, like he said that the True Work are a little bit bigger than what they look like, but I don't know what pants I picked up at the True Work place. I just grabbed pairs and was filling them because I was curious about them. A lot of you all told me about True Work pants and stuff like that. They looked like they were more slim fit, and the Strauss ones that I was handling didn't look as much slim fitish. And I don't like slim fit like pants. I don't even like straight leg pants, to be honest with you. I like mine to be kind of boot cut and relaxed fit and all that kind of stuff like that. The Strauss ones looked like they were a little different, but I might have also been holding a pair of size 46 Strauss pants and a pair of 30 True Works. I don't know. I didn't look at the sizes or anything. But just eyeball wise, looking at them, like they look like some of the legs were bigger and all that kind of stuff. You didn't tout your cloud as the Morgan's maintenance. I don't do that anywhere I go. Like nobody even that nobody that I work around except for the ones I work around all the time. Like nobody in my town, nobody around me even knows that I make YouTube videos. I don't tell anybody. Strauss Workwear, is that the same Strauss and company by Levi? I don't know if that was like a collaboration between like if that's somebody, I don't know that. I actually kind of wondered that, but I didn't ask. All my vests are mesh or minimal contact. Any kind of hobbies like woodworking or metalwork or anything else? What kind of hobbies does your wife have? I I do like woodworking compared to most other things. Like I actually thought to myself, like as I got older and wanted to retire, like my goal would have been like at one time start building a wood shop so I could build like furniture and it's just the process of it that I like. It's not that it's like it's just something to do, So I could really fill that void with about anything. I like anything where I'm working with my hands for the most part. We do go kayaking sometimes. We like that kind of stuff, hiking and stuff like that. If we go on trips and stuff, that's kind of the places we normally go, or like national parks and like big scenic places and stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff we go to. Or we like going and looking at old buildings. Like I like looking at construction of stuff, like how people used to do things and all that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff that interests me. I'm always very interested in how someone did something, especially before having some of the things that we have now. And it always kind of really amazes me and tells me how dumb we are like today for the most part compared to maybe the people that were before us. And we think we're so far evolved. But at the same time, if I say to myself, could I do this whenever I'm in some building that is just amazing? And could I have done it with what they did it with? And like the math that they have to be able to know to be able to make some of those things happen. It's like we've got so many things now that make everything super, like the laser level is something that is unreal. Like what all we, how, and it baffles my mind how many people still can't build things level and plumb with the stuff that we've got. And yet I can go into an old building before they had anything like what we've got. And it's better than anything that people are putting together today for the most part. The new Sykes is a lot stiffer, right? Kinda, and then it's kind of weird. Like the outer shell almost is like it's a different material. It's a little bit slicker than this, and then it's also that on the inside. But then like the bag part on the inside is kind of a total separate thing. Like how this is just really up here on the top. It's more of like a separate entity from the bag itself, and then the bag does have like more of this kind of stuff to make it a little stiffer, but the material's still not, it probably doesn't wad up the same as this because it kind of comes back out, but it's still kind of very soft too at the same time. Like it's not really like a stiff bag. It's not as stiff as like a Joey pouch, but it kind of holds its shape, I guess is the way that you should say it. It holds its shape better than this does, but it still doesn't feel very stiff. Ewald, how do you like new coffee cup? So far, so good. I like it pretty good. How's the new door? Let's see. We'll try this out. We won't go very far. Pretty good. I got it for free, so I can't complain. I need to get I've got another mesh thing. I'm gonna be moving my internet box, my little mesh thing. I've got it over here right now, like on the top of my, but I've got to reroute that internet cable anyway. So I'm going to set one in here and then run me another cable to another mesh out here in this main thing. But hopefully I don't use y'all. So I don't have lights in here yet. But so this was the old building. There was a curb right here. So that's where a pole was in this wall. I cut it off. I'm going to pour this and make this be just one step to get up into this. So I won't have them two little bitty things. I might even make it a little ramp. I haven't decided yet, but I can do that whenever. So I'm getting this insulated and getting, I guess maybe y'all can see, getting this sheath, and I had to take this up to where I'd be above that window. I'm gonna put a drop ceiling in here, and then that way I can still get up in that attic-y space if I want to. So here was my free door that my buddy, it's my door supplier. I asked him, I said, hey, if you run across some sort of a door that is a, 3068 door, doesn't matter what hand, I'll make it work. If you make me a good deal on one, I want it. So they ran into this one with a forklift right here, but it actually didn't break. It's just kind of pinched a little, so I'll be able to bondo that super easy. But so $0 on this door. So now I have this, I open, reach around here and get the light switch. I put in these lights. I got these off Amazon. So I've started my sheathing on that wall, and then I've got it. Let me see if I can get down. I don't have steps here yet, so hopefully I'm not going to lose you. Probably get glitchy. So now I can shut this door. That might end up. And then I did that just so I could get my door set in there and then get my switch and everything put in so I could turn these lights on and off. I was putting it together with a Wago. So around the bottom, I'm leaving that bottom. I got this 7-foot sheathing for a whole lot cheaper than buying 8-foot. So I'm doing 7-foot, putting it all the way up to the top, and then I'm leaving that bottom open. I drilled holes through every stud. I'm going to run all my electric in that bottom. And then that way, if I ever want to run more, I can just take that bottom off, run more wire, put another switch wherever I want to, put that back up, and I don't have to do anything with like running wires or anything like that. So I'm going around basically everywhere in that bottom foot. That's where I'm going to run all my stuff. So that's where I'm trying to get this done more so than anything, so I can, which now by the time I get it done, it's not going to be cold in here anymore, but I was trying to get this done so I could get the insulation above the ceiling so I wouldn't have to block this door off with that insulation board. Oh, I didn't turn that light switch off. To be losing all my heat, but it's starting to warm up now, so it's probably not going to be a big deal because I'm going to be doing the same thing over here, putting a door going into another thing like that on this other side. But I wasn't going to even cut that one open until, because right now I'm just working on this whenever I come home in the afternoons, Saturday afternoon, whatever it is. But that door over there, I should have showed you all that, I guess. So, but I'm gonna put another, I've got extra of those wire mesh boxes. So I'm gonna put another one of those out here too, that way to help. So I've actually got a 2x10 going from here all the way to there. So I'm gonna probably, I think, just put a sliding barn door on here and just to where I can just slide it and leave it open against this wall and it won't be in my way. But then I can also, have it shut if I'm filming in here and I don't want the light coming in from that, or just to make it look like, I think I'm gonna do a sticker door and put stickers all over it or something. And then I can also, so on that door, I will have whatever stickers and stuff on this side, but this side I could still hang small things on it or something and it wouldn't be in my way. I've got, several inches, put stuff on that, not lose all that space, but I can't really put anything in that space between there and that door anyways, because I'm gonna be walking there. Back in the day, they had time and lots of labor, craftsmanship that we can't afford that now. I have skinny legs, so the T1 and T2 pants are comfortable for me, but they're worth every penny to me, especially since I can use them depending on the weather and be comfortable. Do the little ramp, you'll thank yourself, and make it TPG ready. I'm leaning towards the ramp anyways, just so that if I have like mod box wheels or whatever, because it won't be a ramp, it'll just be, instead of a step, I mean, it'd be like a triangle, not necessarily a ramp. Instead of just squaring it off, just make it be like a deal. And then I got to build steps going from that door down to that other area. I've been wanting to get I'm almost out of sheathing panels. I've been having to walk all the way to the back of my property where my enclosed trailer is and get my sheathing panels out of that, because I've got all of it inside that trailer. Carry them up here because I'm starting to get grassy, but it's definitely not enough. And it's been so wet from all that ice and all that kind of stuff. I'd love to get my trailer put in there, and then that way my sheathing would be in there too, and I'd just be pulling it out of the trailer and installing it. Because for the most part, I'm just putting up whole pieces. But I haven't been able to get it up here all winter because it's been nasty. You're going to put some kind of seal on the barn door to prevent hummingbirds and bats and such. Well, hopefully hopefully the only way birds and bats get in here is through the garage door being open. Everything else on the outside should be sealed off pretty good now. I was kind of worried, but I haven't had any problems for the last maybe 6 days. The other morning I got out here and my toe-sewed outside unit, the outside coil was froze up. I thought, oh, great. I must have had a very, very small leak because it's been a long time now. But turned it off. It was thawed out in no time, and then it's not done it since. So and that morning was like a weird cold and crazy foggy and all sorts of stuff. So I was kind of wondering if something happened and then it never hit a defrost cycle or something, or what happened. But it's not done it ever since then. So, and everything, it's still been heating fine and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully I'm still good on that. Because I thought, man, it's been a super long time for it to be it would have to be a super small leak for it to just now start doing it. So hopefully I'm still good on that. and we've had kind of the same temperatures outside as what it was that morning, and it still hadn't done it again. So I think it was just some kind of a fluke thing happened at a certain time where it started up running or something, and the temperature was just the right thing, and the fog and frozen moisture in the air. I don't know. Can I install an industrial door on my residential home? It probably depends on where you live. Like here where I live, I can do anything I want to, but I don't live in a city where I've got or a subdivision where there's HOAs and all that kind of stuff. It all really depends on where you live. You'd have to find that out. Like there's nobody for me to even ask anything where I live, like to do any. Can I do this? There's nobody to ask. I do what Joey wants to do here. It's just like his whole barn or whole garage. It's like there's no asking anybody. I just do it. I'm looking around for pressure washers, mainly for stuff around the house. I'm thinking electric is okay, but thinking I might need gas. I've only got an electric one. I used to have a gas and electric one, and the electric ones are like unless you need to like if you need to actually like take off stuff, then you need a gas one. But if you're just cleaning stuff, an electric one does pretty good. Now it's slower usually. Like you got to go over maybe the same spot a couple times instead of just once with a gas one. So it just depends on how much time you want to spend on something. But for like this general cleaning, an electric one usually does pretty good. Have you decided on where you're putting your dump trailer? No, not yet. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that house though. So we went and looked at it. And I mean, it just needs to be tore down. It's really really bad shape. It's not worth. Like you'd be better off to tear it down, and just build a new house on that. You'd have less money in it to just tear it down and build a new house, and you'd have a new house, like a better layout and all kinds of stuff without doing a lot of work. It needed all new floor joists, everything. It needed like everything. I turned ours off, the heat that is. Yeah, I turned it back on after that happened, that same day even, and just to see if it would happen again. And like I said, it hadn't happened again since. So I it had to have been some kind of a fluke thing, like just so happened outside conditions versus when something ran and something. I don't know, but it's been working fine. So I was worried about it though because I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me! Don't tell me I got a leak. Are the Ryobi good? That's what I've got. It's a Ryobi electric pressure washer. I can't. Mine's really old. I don't know what the model number is, but whatever it is, I'm sure they don't make it now. Mine's pretty old, and that's what I've got, and it works okay. My understanding of HOAs is most of them need to do something rather unpleasant that involves a cactus. Slightly used DeWalt on Marketplace I'm looking at, but I think it's way more than what I need. Yeah, if you do get a gas one, like the biggest thing is because it's not something you're going to get out and use very often. Like you want to get, I think somebody even just said that about a Honda engines. Yeah, is some way. I don't. I got to the point where I didn't buy anything that was an outdoor piece of equipment that honestly didn't have a Honda engine on it. For the most part, because it was a one pull start every time, whether I used it within 5 years, 1 year, whatever. So if it's something you're going to get out pretty often and use pretty often, which you live in a climate where you might actually like, there's certain times of year where I couldn't get out and pressure wash something if I wanted to. It's just too cold. So if it's something you're going to use very often, you don't have to worry about that as much because you're going to cycle that engine and stuff. But it is worth paying more money for one that if you're going to get a gas one, it's got a better motor on it. We had that ice fog a few days ago. I think that's what did it. Me personally, Clint, because that's what we had out that morning. I think something happened before it hit a defrost cycle, and then because and the only reason why we noticed it was Amanda came outside and was like, "Your mini split's making a horrible noise," and it was the fan blade had ice all over it, even like it was banging on stuff, and of course it couldn't get any air to pull through. So I came out here and saw that, and I turned it off, and I was like, I was sick at my stomach. I was like, oh, now I'm going to have to tell my buddy he's not going to get a mini split. I might have to use his and put it back, put another one in mine. What benefits are there to living in a city versus being off grid? Me personally, I don't understand that. Me and my wife were talking about that the other day. Like, there's never been a big city that I've been in that I'm like, I want to live here. You know, and again, I'm not knocking anybody that does live in a big city. It's just not for me. Like, and there's always more crime. There's always because there's just more people. So that's what's going to happen. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, anytime you put more of something in any space, it's like more stuff happens because there's more people. People are the problem whenever it comes to that. But there's more traffic, there's more crime, there's more homelessness, there's more this, there's more that. The more people you put condensed into one place, that's just inevitably what's going to happen. But yet like even the town that I work in that is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's like, and that's what they want. That's what the like city wants. They're developing things. So, oh, we just want to grow. We want to grow. It's like, I don't get why you want to. It's like nothing good comes from it. Like it's not good. It's like people just need to spread out more, in my opinion. Like, yeah, you're closer to some restaurants or you're closer to a store that you want to go to, but it's like I've got a car. It doesn't take me 5 more minutes to get to whatever it is or whatever. I don't have to walk there or do whatever. And it's like I don't personally ever want to live in a big city because of all that stuff. And same thing as what we were just talking about a minute ago. I don't want to live somewhere where somebody gets to tell me what it is that I got to do, and I all the things that I want to do with my own house, I've got to ask somebody. It's like, no. Older I get, I feel like big city is more herd mentality and crab in a bucket type of vibes now. Cities are for visiting, in my opinion. Like I said, I don't want to live there again. Some people love it, and you're just not me. And I don't think you're wrong for loving it. Like if that's what you like, then that's what you like. But I don't get it personally. But maybe it's because I've never lived in one like for a long period of time. I've only like spent small amounts of times there. Thunderstorm about to start here. Yeah, we're supposed to get some kind of storm stuff here too, I think. I don't love parking in the big city. It's horrible. Yeah, me too. I don't even understand like I can't even imagine doing my job in like New York City. Like I wouldn't want to. Like the logistics of getting your stuff from point A to point B would be so painful in my opinion that it's like it's not I don't even want to go through the if it takes me that much effort to be able to get to do my job, it's like I don't want to do it. Like I just soon not do it. Like I can't imagine all the stuff that they have to go through to get even like their tools from one place to another and all that kind of stuff. Is it 5:45 there? Is it out of batteries? Nah, it don't work. That clock every time I put batteries in it, it just eats them. So I just quit putting batteries in it. It's always 5:45 here at the Morgan's Maintenance Garage. Tom said I like to pee wherever I want. Exactly. Didn't get a deal on it, but I picked up a 3-plane M12 laser today. Probably overkill for a homeowner, but I hung 3 shell. Oh, 3-plane lasers are the way to go. Or a 4-plane if you think you'll need it, but a 3-plane is like I wouldn't buy anything really, in all honesty, below a 3-plane if I was going to buy one. Now I get the advantage of some if price wise is about it, but in my opinion, there's a lot of them that like if you go to Lowe's or Home Depot and buy a crossline laser, you can get on Amazon and get like a Sigma 3-plane laser or something like that for about the same price. It's like I'd buy the Sigma 3-plane laser. Like for what all you can do with the 3-plane is totally drastically different than what you can do with just a crossline. New York City really chaps my hide. when Austin was still the biggest little town in Texas. It was wonderful, best of both worlds. Yeah, that's what I said. I I don't I don't understand the hey, the city's just we want to grow, we want to grow, we want to grow. It's like there's no big city that I've ever been in that I'm just like there's a bad side to the like just packing everybody up in a place. Like there's I guess there's benefits to it to some degree, but there's just a lot of bad that comes with it. To me, it doesn't outweigh the good. Or Woot has some lasers. Yeah, definitely 1L now. We got the lasers in. Taxes, yeah, taxes is that's the whole reason why they want to grow. That's what I was saying. That's what it's all about. It's about revenue and tax revenue. Don't care what it does to the people and to the city and to the traffic and to the infrastructure. Like that like in my town, they keep tearing down like single homes on streets and building like 8 apartment buildings in the spot where there was 2 homes. And then there's that much more water and plumbing going into those 8 apartment buildings than what was going in 2 homes. And yet they don't upgrade the, water lines going to that area or anything like that. But it don't matter. You just want a more expensive building sitting there and more taxes coming in, no matter what it does. Everything's about the filthy lucre, or most things are. The love of money is the root of all sorts of evil. Seems no matter how big the city, people will say they don't have anything to do or say they wish they would get more chain restaurants. Yeah, it's like most people they just say, "Oh, we're going to get these stores now or this." It's like, do you need more stores? Like my town has probably more restaurants than I could even eat at if I wanted to eat at all of them. It's like everybody just wants something new every now and then is all it is. And because anytime we get a new restaurant, you can't get into it for months. And then after a few months, nobody even eats there anymore. They go on to the next one. David said, "What's up, Joe? Hauling this week from Laredo to Winona, Minnesota. Did you find out what the symbol from the names were?" No, actually, I didn't. Did somebody say towards the end? I don't remember. Let me see if I saw it. I think I saw somebody had it earlier. I'm not seeing it near as much right now. Let me see who's. I could have swore I saw it on somebody's though. Yeah, Backwoods Laws got one up there earlier. Somebody's. Oh, they said it was translated for some reason. So Backwoods Law next to emoji of a laughing emoji. It's got it next to it. Matt's got one that's got one next to and the word and then that Jeff's got one, the Bowery Boy beside Ariana Grande Matt. But somebody was saying they thought it was because it was something about asking if you wanted them to translate whatever it was. What's up, Ghost Shadow? Let's face it, you'd be better off living in Pine Hills. That's like, I always say that, the area I live is kind of like, especially the town, it's kind of like a Mayberry, like in a sense. And it's still like a dry can't, like you can't sell alcohol. You can't do anything. There's a lot of stuff where like the county I live in, you can't do a lot of that stuff. And of course, people want to change it all the time. I'm just like, man, let that be the city I go work in. Let them do all that stuff and just leave this alone. Like leave it how it is. I'll drive into there and go to the restaurant if I want to. I'll drive into there and go to the store if I want to, but leave this alone. Like just leave this is where people live, and that's it. I mean, it won't last forever, but it is right now. Is your comments on all messages? No, mine's not right now. I never remember to do that unless I'm doing something where a giveaway or something like that. There we go. Not to worry when the sun flares. We'll be back in the colonial days if we're lucky. Yeah, there'll be total chaos. Like if something happens and the power grid and everything goes down for a long time and nobody has the internet, and which what I was saying a minute ago, like I doubt there's very many people that could build and do things the way that like they could do things back in the day, like I was talking about, because of like if you take away some of our instruments and some of that kind of stuff and the ability to have power tools and all that kind of stuff like that, it's like I don't think we can do it unless it's a new tool store. Yeah. City living is overrated the older I get. Yeah, a long time ago, Miss Maintenance wanted to move into the town where we work, and the town where I work at isn't like it's not like New York City or something like that, but it's gotten bigger since then, like since the times where she used to want to move to town, and of course now town just keeps getting closer and closer to us in all reality. So I prefer to stay where we are. It's eventually going to get here too. It's cool to see all your effort and innovation on the site runner. I don't need one, but you make me want one. Hope they recognize your input. It's a much more useful thing to me now that I can add those things to the side. It's definitely a very nice cart. Like again, I know $300 is a lot of money. Like, and I don't know that I definitely would have never spent $300 on a cart, not having like just hey, this is my first cart and I want to buy one. I now know that a cart is very nice, like to have for a lot of things, and it's I don't know that I'd pay $300 for it if I couldn't do what I just did to it. But now being able to do that to it, it makes it worth more money to me. Still, $300 a lot of money, but they do catch them. People have been saying they catch them on sale at Home Depot if your Home Depot carries them. Like you're never probably going to get it for that price online if your store doesn't have them and you got to ship them to the store. But apparently, stores that actually stock them, some people said they got them for like $200 and stuff every now and then. So if you can catch it for that, it's definitely worth that. But if you're going to use it pretty often, it doesn't take that long to make $300 off of it compared to not having one. Now, you can obviously buy a cheaper one and make that money back a lot faster. But if it's not really as enjoyable, it's not going to take you long to make $300 in savings back if you just apply that to the labor as if you don't have a cart to the job and then make that money. And then that cart speeds you up. And then that labor savings, boom, you just bought that cart, because you're the one who decided I'm going to buy this to make me more efficient. Well, then you should be the one that makes that extra efficiency money back, not necessarily your customer. Anytime you buy a tool to make your job faster, it's like that shouldn't benefit your customer. That should benefit you because you're the one who put in that investment, not them. It doesn't matter to them really if you get the job done faster or not, unless they're paying you by the hour, type of thing. But if they're paying you by the job, then it's like they're paying you the same no matter what. You're buying things to make your stuff get done faster so that you make more money. Sizzle next said well water and septic tank. I'm still on a septic tank. I'm not on well water though. I did traditional woodworking for a while. Quickly realized that nobody really cares for how things were once done. I totally agree. We probably couldn't do it without instruments and power tools. Tried to get my job to get me the cart. Ghost Shadow said my boss laughed. Yeah, you'll never get a company to spend if there's an option for a $100 cart and a $300 cart. You're never getting that $300 cart. most of the time, unless your company really is like they trust you and understand that's really what you need, then sometimes they will. But for the most part, no. Hand done dovetail, not perfect, no gap. CNC ones deserve respect. A rate hike is needed when you have more experience and better tools to do your job. Yeah, especially if you're going to charge by the hour. That's where you end up. Like if you're charging by the hour, like say you're doing time and material jobs, and then you go out and spend money to buy things to make you faster, then you're kicking yourself. Like you're spending money and then charging less because you're getting the job done faster, and you cost you money to be able to get the job done faster so that the customer's getting the benefit. That's why I'm saying you've got to make sure that you're getting paid back. That's your investment, not the customer's investment. Like, because you don't even know that it's going to pay off, but you're deciding, hey, I'm going to buy this because I think it's going to make me more money, not save you more money. That's why you're buying things. And I'm not saying you make it up on one customer. You don't like charge $300 more on a job and say, "Oh, you bought me a crescent cart." But it's that, if you need to add a little bit to your hourly rate because you are going to go buy a lot of things and get things done faster, so therefore you need to charge more per hour so that you're still making the same, but you're able to do more jobs because you're getting done faster. So you go do 5 jobs in a day instead of, 3 jobs. That's how you end up making more money. I don't like the material, Veto or Milwaukee, on their new bag. It's thick and weighs heavy. It's heavy when empty. The buildings going up are not about quality. I was in new construction and I could hear the upstairs neighbors having a calm, casual conversation. Oh, it's all a big money grab now. It's just build it as fast as you can, move some people in it because there's such a housing crisis to where people, they want you to get done so they can sell it. Mm-mm. Bum, 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 bum. I don't think I bought anything. I do got some tools I need to do a review for, but I didn't buy anything this week, which of course I was had plans all this week, other than like getting the stuff at IBS. I haven't seen anything come out yet either that in a while. Like I haven't seen a lot of new tools come out in the last little bit. Mhm. Did get like I said, I could have got a million hats. I did get a Home Depot Pro hat at the Home Depot place, only because it was a Trucker or Richardson Model 112, which is the hats that I typically like. So I did go ahead and get one of those. I'll take one of those as a work hat any day. That's what these hats are. Or no, well, I think that might be what this one is too. I was thinking this was a Morgan's maintenance hat. This is Texas tool hat. I want one of those pass load keychains. Yeah, they had this one. They had something else, but I couldn't get to whatever it was. It was another something at the pass load thing. It's like a rubber, almost like a rubber eraser. It's like a rubber thing. It's not like a hard. Doesn't have that pass load fuel smell though. They could have scented it, like built a scent into it that smelled like the pass load fuel. Just ordered a 6.5 M18 circular saw. Didn't need it, but wanted it. I think my buddy bought the 6.5. Klein put out the flashlight and more. Yeah, I saw. I watched Steve's video this afternoon It's nice that that head pivots all the way around. Pack out rail attachments. I've seen the new pack out like crates. I haven't seen any of the other stuff yet. Like the crate options, like they got a half a crate this way, a half a crate this way, and then the wire spool crate. I saw that. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I did hit 39,000 subscribers. I think it was this week at some point in time. So I'm getting close to 40. I may make it to 50 this year if it keeps going like it is. We'll see. That I don't really care. That was my goal. We said at the beginning of the year was 50. We'll see if we hit 50. I think I'm up to 112 followers on Instagram or something like that. 100 and maybe 29, might be 129. I think it's 112. But I did find that even talking to people at the builder show thing, the actual people working at the booths, like Instagram is the one that all them people really deal in. So you're more likely if you want to do content stuff to get stuff. Again, I love getting stuff, but I don't do it to get like if I'm not going to turn something down if somebody wants to send it to me, but uh Instagram is what you want to get on if that's what you want. Steve gave me a shout out about the Speedwork nippers. Where'd you get that Home Depot Pro hat? I want one. I got it at the builder show, like the IBS show. They had a booth and you had to go around and talk to 6 different stations about the stuff that they have going on in their pro account. And then after you got to stamp at all of them, you got to go pick something. Which one of them was an air tag? You could get an air tag. Amanda got an air tag. And then I went ahead and just got a hat. You turned down a robot litter box. How many subscribers do you need to quit your day job? I won't ever quit my day job. I like doing what I do. So, and I wouldn't ever want to put and I can't imagine how many you'd have to make what I make work. And like, I don't even know how many you'd have to have for that. But, also you just never, I mean, to me, I know I'm always going to have work doing what I'm doing in my job. For all I know, YouTube could just say we're no longer, paying people to make videos or, who knows? Like, or they could kick you off because you say something or like, I'm not putting all my eggs in a YouTube, Instagram basket. Like I said, if you'd have told me whenever I started making videos, I'd still even be doing it right now. And I wouldn't be if it wasn't for like this right here and commenting in the comment section and just like it's a it's basically become a group of like tool junkies like me that just get together and talk about stuff. And then every now and then I'm just making videos about stuff so we can talk about it. And it just has kept on going like it is. But no way I would have thought, hey, I'm still going to be making videos now and be at almost 40,000 subscribers. Like, who wants to listen to me type of thing. So I just do it. Whatever comes from it, that's what comes from it. Which is why I said I'll go to a thing like that IBS and it's like if I can't film that because it's too crowded or do whatever, I'm not going to say, "Hey, it's my turn," and like get up in somebody's business and make somebody do something. I don't care. Like it is what I get the footage I get. I'll make the video I make. This is more of a support group than a business venture. I learned how to crimp gutter with needle nose recently. Weed whackers destroyed the downspouts. How many subs before the advertisers are beating down the door? I think it's probably like certain ones that start pretty early, like, but it's like all the like just alphabet soup people, and then once you kind of get one and they get you in their system, I think they just start passing your name around. You start getting emails for all kinds of stuff. Now the other ones, but I've seen plenty of people with like way less subscribers than what I had before I started getting contacted by certain like people that are like Olight and all that kind of stuff like that, like more of a what you might consider a name brand. I see plenty of people with way less subscribers than what I had at the time, but I don't usually like it's been very rare that I look up something and email somebody and say, "Hey, I'd like to look at this. If you want to send it to me, I'll make a video." I don't normally do that. I think I've done it maybe 2, 3 times at the most. So I think if you actually have less subs and you contact people, you're probably able to, get stuff. I think a lot of companies, because I got something from Canipix pretty early on. Like I didn't have very many subscribers at all, and they sent me something. And that's one of the times where I emailed them. Just I got on their website and looked up their email and just said, "Hey, I started a YouTube channel, and if you'd like to send me anything, I'd be happy to make videos for them or whatever." Got 130 on Instagram now. Tom just followed me. There you go. I mostly got on there. I don't know how much I'll post on there because it's very rare I even get on there and look around because I just don't. By the time I answer all the YouTube comments, because that's pretty important to me, I like to answer every comment that I get if I can. Uh, by the time I go through all that, I don't have a lot of time to do like a bunch of extra other things. So I'll probably just post like the same stuff. Maybe I post on shorts every now and then. Like I'll probably post clearance deals and stuff like that on there. But I mostly did it just so that if there is a company that they like to DM through Instagram, like I'll have an account basically. And if they want to contact me through that instead of emailing me through what's on my YouTube page and all that kind of stuff, there's a way for somebody to get a hold of me. I would have 4 or 5 sons to take care of me when I'm old. I hope that's at least one of them puts me in a nursing home. Best time to learn how to do something is when there's the threat of having to pay someone else to do it. Yep, that's how I've learned most of the things in my life. It's like I'm not paying somebody to do that. I'll figure it out. I follow a guy that has 500 subs and he got a pen making kit manufacturer that sent him kits. Some aren't worth answering. Yeah. Some of them are funny to me and I answer them if I think they're funny, even though they're rude or trying to be rude or whatever. I'll still answer them. But a lot of times I just give. Now I'm saying that sometimes I give thumbs up because you just made a point to me and there isn't really an answer for me to give you back. So I just give you a thumbs up. Like you're not looking for an answer. You're just telling me something. But sometimes, which usually I do a 2 thumbs up if that's the case. Now, every now and then I get somebody that just says something stupid. And I'm just like, I'm not going to argue back and forth with them. I just give them a thumbs up emoji and that's it. But if you've got a thumbs up emoji, that doesn't mean that that's what I meant by it. Your ex is too clean. I check Lowe's deal of the day every day after you had posted some good deals. Yeah, whenever I wake up in the morning, I go to Home Depot and check out and see what they've got for deals. I check out Lowe's, I check out Woot, because I usually wake up pretty early. Like too early, I can't go work anywhere because nobody's up. And that's when I start looking around for tool deals and researching tools. A lot of times I'm laying in bed in the morning. That's what I'm doing, is just looking at tools. Ever thought of becoming a tool dealer / distributor? No, not really. I said I like doing what I do. Like I like fixing things. So I've never even thought about doing something else. And as I've said many a times in different videos, like I would have never imagined myself as a person in high school, even whenever I first started going to college. that this is what I'd be doing. Like it wasn't even in my mind. And then I started working in some factories and kind of moved into doing hands-on work with my hands and welding and different things like that. And just I really like the aspect of fixing something. Like it's what I love to do. So I love tools. I don't know that I want to sell them. Like, and I like that's not something that's. I'd rather fix something with tools in that way. I guess I'm not really a salesperson. I guess either. Really, I never like to like try to convince somebody to buy something. That's just awkward to me. Which is why I always say, like in my videos, it's like it's up to you whether you want to buy. I'm never making a video to try to say you need this because I don't know you and I don't know what you do. And just because I need it and I like it and it works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you. I just try to show you how I use things, and then you can decide based on that. Does even if I do something a little different than him, would I still be able to use it in the same way? And whatever it is I do, then yes, I need to buy this. But if it maybe I answer it the other way, and you look at what how I said it works, and you're like, I don't ever need that in my work. Now I don't need to buy that. You give them the best bless your heart response. Drugs sell themselves. You don't have to be a good salesperson. Yeah, that's all that little symbols coming up every time somebody uses just emojis because I guess that's not like a real word, so it comes up as if I need to translate it. But I don't think I can. I'm gonna see if I press on it. Let me see what it says. No, it doesn't come up as an option for me to do something with it if it's. In some cultures, thumbs up can mean something else. Oh, I'm sure. Like that's what I said. The way I say "Hey guys" all the time, like I'm surprised. Of course, I think we're at least a little bit past that. Like few years ago, I'd probably already been canceled just for saying that. But it's again, that's just what I say. If I'm in a room with a bunch of people, I'm not meaning it in a derogatory way towards women or anything like that. It's just what we say where I live is, hey guys, if you're talking to a group, that means everybody that's in this room, I'm talking to you. And I'm sure there's plenty of other things that mean all sorts of things to different people. But it's like all I know is what it means to me. I can't help it how somebody else takes things. Use guys. Hey, use guys. I'm seeing if I put anything in these drawers that was new that I didn't remember, but I don't think so. I got a Shinwa 6-inch metric steel carpenter's ruler with a locking slide, very compact and nifty. Haven't heard of Shinwa. I'm assuming that's a Japan thing. Did you do the mod I sent you for the 5-drawer cart? No, not yet. I've been pretty busy up until like today, because yesterday and the day before was just nonstop. Like, and then Monday was getting ready for that because Monday I had to go. The people were wanting to list their house while I was going to be gone, so I had to go Monday and do the vanity cabinet and some other stuff while I was there that I didn't film. It was just small stuff like changing a threshold out and a door lock, a blind. I don't remember what else. So I had to get that done Monday along with they changed my like I planned on I was going to get up Tuesday morning and pack stuff and do all that kind of stuff. Well, then they changed I had to change my flight to super early. So I had to get home and get all that kind of stuff ready and I think I even maybe filmed that tool haul that day. I don't remember what, or no, I had to get home and edit that video and put so I could put that out while I was gone, the cabinet video. So I've been pretty slammed and not even work, like just doing stuff. What kind of wood did you build your workbench out of? And are the cabinets holding it up or do you have it held up in a different way? So it's this is just birch plywood. I think I did. It's just one layer with a 2x4. I think if I remember right, it's been a long time, but I think I turned these cabinets have a like top on them, but I think I turned 2x4s on the flat and screwed through the cabinet up into those. Put this plywood on top of that, and then this is what's covering up like this flat 2x4 and the edge of the top, if I remember right. So it's all tied together. Like one the top is sitting on this cabinet and this cabinet. It's been a little while since I did it, but I think so. I think that's how I did it. Stopped by the firehouse to pick up new stickers. Pretty sweet. Unpopular opinion, Japan is doomed, has been for a very long time. Could you do the vertical style live? That way everyone can leave hearts and bubbling up the screen. Imagine if it was a wrench emoji going up the screen. That would be way cooler. I It doesn't matter to me to do it as far as that way. I don't like watching them that way. If it's only one person like in the live, because it like cuts out a lot of the screen. It's nice because I can see that like I can't see the chat on my phone if I and for one I can't flip the screen and use like my face camera this way because it makes everything backwards. All the words are backwards. I think it does that on the verticals too, though. I can't remember. But I never like watching somebody that has the lives because I watch YouTube on my TV like 95% of the time. And I don't like it when it puts it over in the middle of the screen. You got so much screen that's not being used. So that's why I typically do it this way. Did you edit the video while you were on your flight? So I took yeah, kinda. I took the GoPro stuff that I had, the footage, and put it on my phone, and I was doing it on the air in the airport while we were there, and then finished up like basically I was taking all my clips and just cutting them down to the usable stuff that I was wanting to use, and then when I got home, I filmed the parts of it here in the garage, and then started putting those clips over into it. Like I said, that's why I kind of decided to do it that way because I knew I was going to be rushing through things, and I didn't want to have conversations with people and then maybe had to edit out parts of it because somebody else is cutting. Like I just decided I'm gonna ask people if they'll do the demonstration and let me film it, and then I'll talk about it whenever I get back and just do it from my garage. Something tells me, let's see, Japan has the same feelings about us. I bought my vessel bit magnetizer and it had Japanese graphics and lettering for made in China. I saw I did see that on Instagram that Vessel had some kind of new screwdrivers that I saw that were pretty interesting, but and then they had some bit sets or something too. I can't remember what they look like now, though. It's been a little while. I agree. I'm watching on my TV now, and horizontal so much better for that. Yeah, I despise, like, I don't mind it if it's like two people doing a live because then that spreads it out over the whole screen. Like the times when Steve's on here with me, or if anybody else wants to do it or whatever, then you have to do it in the vertical. But then that puts two verticals up there and it fills up the screen a lot better. So that's not that bad. So tomorrow I've got to go and change some locks. I've got to go look at I can't remember if she said shower or bathtub. I want to say bathtub that's falling through the floor or something. I don't know exactly. That's kind of the gist of what I got from it. I got to go look at that and then go look at a job of maybe like we've been the quadplex that I built last year. They're thinking about doing another one, but we're going over the changes that they want to make to the next one. And I think we got to have a meeting with them tomorrow about that. So that's my day tomorrow. Basically, the only actual work is changing some locks. Other than that, it's all looking at stuff. Homeowners are always dramatic. I didn't get a picture of it, so I don't know. Bathtub taking through the floor footage, please. LOL. Yeah, I didn't get a picture of it. And it was actually, it's a lady I used to work with's daughter. She's the one who messaged me and told me that she might be contacting me because I think she said bathtub, but she could have said shower. I can't remember now. She said it was falling in or something, but Tom gets to set up an existing alarm system in a building for monitor, becoming an arcade later. Laser tag. So people still play laser tag. Boy, that was a big thing whenever I was a kid. Maybe the arcades and laser tag and all that kind of stuff have come back. Or maybe it's still been around. I don't know. Laser tag is still a thing. I didn't know that. I don't think there's anywhere around me that has it. There still is some bowling alleys. One of the doctor's office that I've been doing a lot of work in used to be the skating rink in our town, like a big skating rink, and they've converted it into office spaces. But we might still have. There was another skating rink that might still be a skating rink on the other side of town. I don't know if it still is or not. You have internet ran out to your shop, hardwire from your house, or do you use mesh? So whenever I first started doing these, I just had mesh. Like I had a mesh thing out here, and then I was every now and then it just depended on certain situations. I was getting problems, so I ran a wire temporarily from my house out here, just out in my driveway, just to hook it up and see if it made a difference, and it did. Like it's been a lot better ever since then. So I went ahead and I bought a like just direct bury cable at first and just direct buried it from there. As that way I didn't have to dig real deep because I also knew I was eventually going to be doing this. So whenever I did this, I dug a trench and put a conduit for some more electric out here so I'd be able to power stuff out there and a mini split and whatever else I wanted to from my house. And while I did that, I went ahead and put in another conduit for internet and pulled this cable back out and ran it through that conduit. So now it's in conduit and not just in the ground. And I can always pull a new one now anytime I want to if something happens. So I'm going to take that one. Right now, I've got it coming through the wall over there where my other door is going to go because I already had a hole there. So that's where I just stuck it through temporarily. but I'm probably going to move it, maybe even mount it up here on the ceiling or something. I don't know. And then I'm going to run another cable off of that one to another mesh over in the other one, just in case I do stuff out there. Maybe it won't get glitchy type of thing. We have a movie theater closed and now an indoor go-kart track. I'm guessing they are electric now. Close. Movie theater close. Mall sold and is turning into a big entertainment center with go-karts, bowling. Yeah, there probably won't be. Actually, there was a mall between here and Nashville that just closed. It's been a big mall for a long time. And then the mall in the town I work in, we used to actually do a lot of work there at the commercial company that I worked at. But I don't think they do much there anymore. There probably won't be long for a lot of malls close. It did good tonight, not going through metal. That helps. Yeah, and having that doorway open and stuff too, probably like we're not going through a building. Basically, anytime I walked around before, we were going through the building and through insulation, board, and all that kind of stuff, metal. All our malls are closing. Got to watch Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Yeah, it's 8:04. Guess I'll get off here. Which my first appointment tomorrow is not. Which actually I might go ahead and go change them locks before I go to the 9. My first appointment thing's at 9:30 to look at the bathtub thing, but I was going to go change the locks after that. But I think I might go ahead and go do that first. If I get up and I'm sitting around doing nothing, I might as well go do it. But I guess I'll get off here. Guest of trade Saturday is Christopher Becky. All sorts of stuff in that loadout. He's actually got 2 loadouts. One person, 2 loadouts for 2 purposes. So it's kind of like a double episode with one person. But I'll get off here and we'll see you on the next one. Y'all have a good one.